Meow. Meow. Meow.
Oh, we saw lips move.
We did.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Crafted. And tonight we're going to be talking about cab drivers all around the country.
Getting heavy.
I didn't even realize that I did that. So we'll have to fix that later. But I've decided that I'm going to try to do vampire crabs.
Oh.
And so I thought it would be kind of cool if we would talk a little bit about vampire crabs tonight. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make their habitat tonight. Now, I've already made half. I videotaped it, so I'm going to make a video eventually coming out. And I realized that I did half of it with the red beard. And then when you add brown dye to red, it gets it really dark. So, oh well, it's a different look. But I don't know if anybody even noticed.
Oh, they did. I saw in the chat. A lot of
Oh.
people in the chat were talking about it. Somebody said it was Auburn for the colors for Auburn.
I thought Auburn was orange and blue.
I don't know.
I have no clue.
No.
On that note, though, I'm going to say some hellos real quick from the participants list. Get a deep breath here. Hello and welcome to Aqua Gardens in Ash Lightcloud. First Chattanooga Edis here. Delilah's Critters. Dennis Christensen. Eric Wyrock. Fish Room Fever. Who's that crazy guy? I don't know why he's in here. Fish Shrimp by Rich. Hippie John the Fisherman. Liquid Zoo Only Fins. Lonnie, a.k.a. Looney Tunes. MSC Aquatics. Lumpy Dog, Mike's Aquatics Things, New Local Austin, Paul Sotero, Pegasus Arena, Sarah J. Sieber, Scott's Aquatics, Scuba Stevo's Aquatics, The Zen Ginger, Whips World, and everybody else hanging in the chats did not show up on the active participants list. We still appreciate each and every one of you all being here with us tonight.
Definitely.
Yes, for sure. Oh,
With all these awesome people.
I found my glasses. I couldn't figure out where they were. They were in my pocket the whole time during this last stream. In my pocket. Oh well. Thank you guys, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, James and Rico. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Today's episode is going to be brought to you by
The letter P.
Aquatic Aesthetics.
Even
The
better.
letter A.
Letter A, yes.
Now, they don't know that they're sponsoring this show, but they are. And we'll explain how.
I do have to say you look very spiffy today. That is a very sharp-looking shirt there. The gentleman on the front of the shirt is very attractive. He's a very attractive man.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. What's he do? Oh, no. What?
Ed is going to be...
Now that we got that taken care of.
Oh, I had to say something.
No, the reason why I did this is because I'm going to be using black foam, pond foam, to make my habitat, and I don't want to ruin my awesome Rico shirt.
Absolutely.
So I'm using one of my old work shirts. Look at this hole.
Holy shirt.
Yes. Well, it kept the air going in the hot summer.
There you go. I may have to do that to a couple of shirts. Just
I have a new shirt as well. Where is it? It's over here. It's KJE Aquatics. He sent me a care package yesterday.
very nice.
It was supposed to send me
awesome.
he was going to send me a t-shirt. He said, "Hey, can I send you a shirt?" He's a fellow New Yorker, and he didn't send me just a shirt. He sent me a box of stuff.
What?
Bunch of
What's in the
different
box?
fish food. Like, there's. I don't want to. We can talk about it later.
Okay.
I don't want to take it off from what you're doing.
Well, are we going to have a stream afterwards on your channel?
We are.
Oh,
We're
awesome.
gonna,
We'll save it for then.
we're gonna do Rico and the Man later. I'm feeling up to it. So
Love
Awesome. It's so much fun having Rico back.
Susan says, "Where's Ed's mic?" And you do sound a little low. Yeah.
Is this better?
No.
I
It
bet
sounds like
it's...
it's coming from your laptop instead.
I would say it's probably his camera mic that's picking up. I have noticed on StreamYard, it's been resetting my mic pretty much every time I come in. I have to switch back over to, well, you can't see it. Now you can see it. I have to switch it back over to this one because it tries to default to my webcam mic, and that's a no-no because this has got the the auto leveling for that sexy DJ voice here on WKGPQ radio. Sorry, I had to.
No, do it again.
But that being said, real quick, while Ed's messing with his mic, I know there were a couple questions that came in right as we ended the Fish Room Fever live stream. So if you all happen to come on over here, we've got 60 awesome people watching now. Feel free to throw those questions in here. We'll be happy to answer them. Or if you've got some questions now that you didn't have before, you can throw those in the chat. We'll talk about that stuff. Negative, Ed.
Negative
We're
Ghost
gonna
Rider.
Yeah, we're going to mute Ed for the remainder of this. And it's just going to be Rico Stan with that beautiful beard and me with that burly voice. Are you back, buddy? We got you.
You know what I'm doing is I'm changing the sound from my ears or not. I testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
I mean, it's doable the way it is. I mean,
we can hear you.
Can hear you. It's just
testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Hey there, Bunny Viper. Yeah, we can hear you. Absolutely, Ed. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
That's good enough.
Let's go with it. Let's go with the flow.
Didn't mean to throw you off there.
This is the darkest my beard has ever been in my life. Normally, it's a light brown.
I was honestly hoping the chat would get involved and you'd have 60 people saying a little higher, a little lower. It's too loud. It's too quiet.
Well, one thing with this is you need ventilation. And my fish room has a vent. So, but maybe I should go turn it on quick.
Probably not a bad idea.
I would agree with that. Yes.
So, Rico, we've got Rico Stan and the Man coming on live after Chattanooga Ed tonight. Do you have a topic set up for us?
Yes, we're going to talk, and you guys sort of talked about it a little bit. We're going to talk about egg layers, egg scatters that do well in a community tank or in a colony, one or the other. So fish that you can breed, not guppies, but not live bears, but other fish that you can breed in a colony or community setting. Ones that just are a little bit easier. I mean, there's a lot to go into that. There's a lot of variables, but I think there'll be some good talk. And I'm really, it's a very selfish topic because I want to know, and I don't know very much about that. I want to know which ones can do that. So I think it'll be a good topic.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to go. Yes, live bears, said Liquid Zoo. We were talking about live bears.
Not dead bears.
Yeah, no.
Although the bears are dead now. Lumpy Dog. Ed's beard is brown and orange in honor of those amazing Cincinnati Bengals. Did he miss that?
Oh, I knew people were going to give Ed a hard time.
Yeah.
That's okay. He can take it.
Did he mention why he did change the color of the beard?
I don't know that he did.
Edward?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, forgot you don't like that.
I forgot my paddles to spread the stuff out with. I've got rubber gloves so I don't get the stuff all over my hands.
So, Ed?
Yes.
What made you change the color of your beard?
Well, I keep the red beard for the Chiefs. And it was a tradition I've been doing for almost 20 years. And the Chiefs, for the first part, were really terrible. And they were like one of the worst teams in football. So the first day of playoffs, it would go back to being normal. But they made it to the Super Bowl the last 2 years, so I kept it. But my Chiefs are out.
Oh, okay. So that's the difference. Because I remember you did it all through the summer this past year.
Yeah.
But because they didn't make it, that's why you decided to you're mourning.
Yeah.
You went into mourning. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Ed, I know you've done a bit of research on this. Amanda Baker had a question. Says, anyone with experience breeding vampire crabs, are females ready to breed after molting like shrimp?
Well, that is what we're going to be talking about today. And I don't know. Haley from Oddball Aquatics, I asked her if she would come on, and she just had a super hard day at work, so she wasn't able to do it. Because, this is pretty late when you wake up early and go to work every day. So, but what we'll do is we'll keep a list of questions like that. Rico, can you be in charge of keep remembering the list?
No.
Okay. So Rico's going to do that. And then Or, maybe I'll just read them afterwards, and
No,
then
that's fine. I'll get a list going. So the one was the first question was, are they ready? Are the females ready to breed after
after they
they
molt.
molt the first time? Correct.
So, yes.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me open up a new document here real quick.
Oh,
I'll get all fancy with it.
this is why Aquatic Aesthetics is sponsoring us today, because I won this 20 tall tank. I won this from his shop with a $25 gift card and a filter and some other goodies. But I'm going to use, I've got 220 longs, and I'm going to keep vampire crabs in both of them. And later in the show, we'll have James bring up Aquatic Arts and show you the crabs that I've picked to breed in these two. They'd like to be about 50-50 water to land. So what I'm going to do is I'm making these little islands here that'll be in the tank. And then I'm also going to put a piece of wood in here, and I'm going to put a plant behind to go in this tank.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's going to be about 3 inches of water for these little guys.
So Kenny E. at Danican Aquatics said, LOL, feed the crabs and keep them warm and babies just keep coming.
Yeah, I remember
There you go.
He's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm kind of hoping to be able to breed a bunch of these guys and take them to Aquatic Aesthetics. And maybe eventually, if I can give him enough, he could trade me fish food, or not fish food, but crab food. And it was pretty neat because I was in the shop yesterday, and Sarah, the people that make the Sarah O-Nips, O-Tabs, or whatever they're, well, they were in there, and they were just telling him about a new crab food they're making. And the little discs are, the O-Nibs, the little round things are like donuts. So it's real easy for them to grab with their claw because they put their claw in the hole and walk away with it. And
Crabs with donuts.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, this fits perfectly.
Real quick, Ed.
Yes.
Sorry. Ash Light Cloud gave you a $10 super chat. Said, what happened to the baby headfish?
The baby headfish is in the craft room. I thought about putting it in here, but then I decided, maybe some things belong in the crabfish or in the craft room, and some belong in the fish room.
There you go.
And you had another question too. I wanted to ask you before you got started from Bunny Viper. She says, "I know green is your favorite color. What shade of green? Jungle green, neon green, emerald green."
Hacker's green.
Probably not pea green. Military green, no. So I guess emerald or metallic, because my Camaro is like a dark green metallic green.
She also wants to know what your favorite planet is.
Oh my gosh. My favorite planet or plant?
Planet.
Well, I'm partial to Earth. But oh boy. I like Hoth. I don't know. I like a lot of planets.
And again, Ash, thank you for that. We do appreciate it very much so.
And she, James, she asked you, Bunny Viper asked you as well. I'll say blue is my favorite color, and I don't know about planet. Mars.
I like Nabu.
Earth, yeah, obviously, but Mars I think would be next.
Corellia would be cool. You know what? Let's go Corellia because it's most like Earth, except it's in Star Wars.
There you go. Blue is my favorite color. I am probably also going to go with Earth because I have the most experience, I think, on that planet out of all of the ones I've been to.
Yes.
So I have grown rather fond of it since I've been here. So I'm going to go with Earth. Then we had Kelly Foreman with the $10 super chat. It says the claw with the little crab emoji there. Thank you so much, Kelly. Appreciate the support for our buddy Chattanooga Ed there.
Now,
did you see Sarah's
about vampires?
Did you see Sarah's? I'm sorry, Ed. I'm talking over. Did you see Sarah's question? Will they do okay with a 20-gallon vivarium with land and water areas? The crabs.
That's what they want. And they generally say you can pretty much start at 10 gallons. So 20 is just going to double their space. And they want to be 50-50. So I'm going to give them plenty of spaces to have fun and hang out here. Now, I'm going to use this foam. And I was thinking about foaming it up today and then cutting it. Because I've got lots of cutting tools for foam to make it look more like slate. But then I thought, what if it looks good straight out of the can, and then I have nothing to do on the show?
Right.
So I've never done this, and that might be fun too, seeing what I do. All the stuff is little containers that I bought at the Dollar General. Or not at the Dollar General, sorry. Didn't mean to trigger anybody.
That's fine.
No, at the Dollar Tree is where I got it. And I should have looked for pops.
I'm leaving.
I forgot to look for pops. So, you're supposed to shake.
I do miss the pops.
We'll get the pops back someday.
Yeah, there's Matt sent me a link for them. I need to order them. I've got to buy them in bulk though. Otherwise, it's like $10 per package that you buy for shipping, or you can buy X amount and get free shipping. They'll be coming back. I just need to be able to get the pops. And that's as far into that as I want to go. But tax time's right here, so pops will be back soon.
Just so you can see, this cardboard is the footprint of the tank.
Nice, good idea.
So it is going to bubble out on the sides where I'm going to have to cut it just to fit it into the tank. Just to let you. Oh, I also want to make a cave or two. So
Cave or two?
Yeah, I want to make it so they can crawl into it. Oh, I did this, crawl into it, and you guys can't even see me do it. So I'm going to spin it around and let you guys look at the backs. And I'm going to cut some holes in the front.
I always love when it's a project that Ed hasn't done before, so he doesn't exactly know where it's going. A lot of times Ed has done so many craft projects. He's like, I've done this 100 times. This is how this works. So it's going to be fun to see how this plays out on something he's experimenting with.
Yeah.
I've never used the foam in my life.
Back to these crabs. So how much water can they live in?
Well, Haley said 30 to 70, like 30% water, 70% land, to 50 to 50.
So they like to be out of the water quite often, but okay.
They're actually more terrestrial. Well, I don't know if they are more, but they just like land. So
because I thought about them, but I just if it was the other way around, if they like the water better, sort of like the African dwarf frogs, something like that.
Yeah, good point.
I'd probably be all over it.
Well, bam! I just made a cave.
Well, bam!
See? Super easy. Oh, and because foam floats, I did glue a whole lot of rocks. These rocks are glued all inside this one thing. This thing probably weighs about 10 pounds to hold the foam down.
Hey, GRB.
And I think I want a cave on the side. This one is going to make it so you're never going to see the crabs, I bet. This is the cave that they're always going to hide in. But that's okay, because everybody likes their privacy.
Well, I hate to ask thinking questions while Ed has something sharp in his hands, but for anybody that's curious about doing this project themselves, dollar-wise, what are we looking at here to do this?
Well, the gloves cost $1.20 a piece. I want really good rubber gloves because I don't want to get this black stuff all over my hands and be goopy for 3 days. The baskets come in little groups of 3 at the Dollar Tree for $1 a piece, for a group of 3. So I got like this thing. I think it's for holding silverware. I don't know what these are, but so I got 3 different sizes of these. I got 2 of these, like little bucket things. I did buy, gosh, I keep walking off with the earphones getting stuck on the stuff. I bought a whole bunch. I bought about $10 worth of stuff. So we got a couple of strainers.
I love those. I've got those for various uses around the fish room.
We got one of these, and then a really big one that I thought about cutting in half. But then I thought a lot of foam's going to go through that. So it's not worth cutting it in half.
Hey, Eric. Here's a good question. Oh, I'm sorry. It jumped on me. Hold on. It was from Sarah. She was asking about that. Here we go. If you cut that foam, do you have to seal it with silicone or something before using it in a damp environment once you cut it? Or is it just pretty much the same inside and out? Does it cure with like a shell?
The styrofoam?
The pond foam.
Oh, it takes 8 to 24 hours. But
So
you can
if you cut it though,
you can put it directly into a pond with a leak. It is made so water can be in it and it'll start to cure.
okay.
So it is super good stuff.
So
But
when you cut it, you don't need to process the cut.
no, everything will completely,
Okay.
and I keep lots of zip ties. I'm going to use 2 big zip ties on this bottom one that I just made a cave out of.
So, including the foam, $25 you could do this project, right?
Yeah, the foam I think I bought 5 cans for $65.
Okay. So, depending upon how much foam you go with.
Yeah. And I've never used one of the cans. I've been saving them for something like this. Hopefully the cans don't go bad because I've had them for a couple of years.
Can you give us another shot of the can there? Carlos was asking what kind of foam you're using.
Sure thing. It's called, if you go on it, I bought it off Amazon. And the bigger the package you get, the cheaper it is. But it's Savio? I don't know. Savio. Black foam. And normally they say pond foam.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There we go. That was a nice clear shot.
And it comes like this and with a real cool lid on top, but I broke the seal on this one to get it ready for the show.
Yeah, it is essentially great stuff. Expanding foam, just specifically made for ponds and in a color black, but same concept of a product.
Oh,
So the other expanding foams, are they really that different? Are they not safe? Are they?
well, you have to read the can because you don't want anything that is that kills mold. Because if it has a chemical that will kill mold, it will kill the beneficial bacteria in your fish tank. And so that's what messes up your nitrogen cycle. And I don't know if James wants to elaborate on that or not, but
I pulled an ad. I wasn't listening. I was reading the chat there for a moment.
why you don't want to have anti-mold foams in your fish tank.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you pretty much covered it. It's real simple. Anything that is chemically designed to kill mold is, in a sense, affecting a bacteria. So it will kill off your bacteria when it leaches in there, and potentially, depending upon what the chemical is, leach toxins into the water. That's a big one. If you get into like using polyfill in your aquariums, there is a version that is like mold and mildew resistant. And you don't want to use that one because of the toxins. So yeah, always, anytime you're using a product that wasn't specifically designed for aquatic use, make sure there's no sort of mold or mildew resistant chemical built into it. Just like with your silicone, if you're putting a silicone in, you're resealing a tank or building a tank, a lot of those will have mold and mildew resistance for home use. You don't want that for an aquarium.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm learning. I think I need to shake it a little better because a lot of gas came out, not a lot of foam.
Nope, not gonna do it. Not not gonna say it. And Dee Dee, I understand. Yeah, the pictures, that's tough.
Okay, we'll do it right on top. It looks really cool, but I feel like a lot of gas is escaping and not much foam.
Yeah. And this is the point when everybody is now glad that Ed's mic is further away.
Yeah.
This is fun watching Ed experiment.
It's
Yeah.
it's not very pretty.
Well, Scarlet Thunder says hold the can upside down. I feel like that makes sense.
Oh. Oh yeah, I think I read something about that.
Does it have directions on it? Turn it upside down. Yeah, the other
Oh,
people
you're
can
so much smarter.
No.
You probably waste half the gas.
Well, I have more cans.
Have to,
You know, it's
yeah.
not very pretty, but it already looks sort of natural. You know what I mean? It does have
This
that.
side actually looks really cool. I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to turn it around. Okay, first tip, scuff up the plastic so it has a little more grit to it. This plastic was kind of soft, or real soft, or not shiny, you know? So,
Smooth. Yeah.
yeah, smooth. And it's not sticking super well to it.
Yeah. And you can even get a pack of sandpaper at the Dollar Tree while you're there for $1 and just use some rough grit and kind of scuff it a little bit, like Ed mentioned. That's pretty common anytime you're trying to adhere to a smooth plastic. Give it some texture for those things to adhere to.
Well, so who knows how this project will pan out. And look, I'm using a paddle. These are like to put under a door or something, you know.
Shims.
A shim, yes. And I picked the thick side instead of the thin side. Why? Why did I do that?
I think you're teaching everybody a valuable lesson on some things that you probably should not do while trying to recreate this craft at home. Make sure that you hold the can upside down and try and use the thin side of your paddle for appropriate spreading.
I should not have just did that.
Looks like that need to be roughed up a little bit, huh? That the plastic ones, the blue ones.
Yeah, that's how this whole thing is going. It's not sticking super good to it, but I'm thinking the second coat will, it's all going to be sticky, so it'll probably be great second time around.
Scuba Steve-O says Ed should put gravel all over the foam for texture. You can do that with things. You can also even do sand. So I have done some pleco caves where I use those water gardening spikes, the plant water feeders as pleco caves.
Yeah.
I've actually taken on a couple of them and I've added sand to the outside of them just to give a more natural look in the tank versus having that terracotta look.
I was actually planning on cutting it so it has straight lines because the bubbles just from the foam itself will give it kind of a cool look also, kind of like granite or something. So that's why I decided not to put rocks on it, because I won't be able to just melt it off with a hot knife.
This is definitely a messy project.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it in the fish room. We have more room, and I got ventilation. And that might be also adding to extra noise to the stream today.
Amanda Baker, I'm in agreement with you, says once it expands into the holes in the baskets, it should stick, I think, question mark. Yeah, that will definitely help it. And the fact that it's going to be kind of completely encompassing, so it will be attaching to itself, if you will, that should help as well, even though it's not directly sticking quite as well on the surface. Once it gets in those holes and places, and then he wraps it all the way around to where it's kind of expanding onto itself, that'll help keep it in place.
Look what happened to my sweet tea.
Oh, no.
Wonder what it tastes like.
Zenny said, just don't lick the spoon, Ed. Scarlet Thunder, excuse me, said, I was just using the same type of foam 2 days ago. Another thing you can use to create space, I've learned, is coarse steel wool, at least in metal apps. Not sure about this, but I might try it. So metal, like steel wool, anything like that would probably be good to fill in those spots.
Yeah, well, and you could also, that gave me the thought of the pot scrubbies that you get for $1 at the Dollar Tree. You could use those to kind of create, to fill space, spray over them to kind of give you a bubbled out rock area or things like that. Filling space. Yeah.
My side looks so much more like a chocolate cake than your side. I wish I had the camera on this side.
My side looks like something my kids would do if I was asleep and they got into the crafts and things.
I was thinking our side looks like the chocolate cake after you eat it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fun.
Lauren
Well-
Ashley said I would stick some glass marbles all over that.
Oh, I'm glad she added marbles to it.
That's interesting.
Ooh. Okay, on the next one I do, I've got those glass jewels that
Oh yeah.
I could drop all around it and make it crystalline. This is just, round one. And I was talking about doing 2 tanks. I was actually going to do 3 once another 20 long comes, the next $1 per gallon sale. And not 20 long, 20 tall. I only owned, well, actually, I do own another 20 long. It's down in the shed.
Dr. Anthony said a small balloon and foam around it makes great caves.
I've seen that method before. That is a brilliant way
Yeah.
to do it. See, I'm shopping. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying I'm shopping the Dollar Tree now because they have all sorts of like bags of seashells and bags of various rock and things that normally you would have to spend a lot of money to get a full substrate worth, but they would be great for decorative purposes in a build like this because you could put them into the foam in different areas, just depending upon what the look was you were going for.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I did see somebody put the balloon into the foam, pop it when it's done, when it's set, and to get those cave. But I don't remember where that was.
I don't either. I thought they were doing a background for a tank, if I remember correctly. And of course, there's probably more than one person that's done it.
Yeah, maybe that was a Chris Biggs. I honestly don't remember.
Maybe
You
even
guys,
I know
this looks
Zenzo
so
did one as
cool.
well.
What's that, Ed?
This thing looks so cool on this side. Maybe I'll have to get a camera or something because I don't know how much I'm going to worry about your side that you're on.
Why? Because it's going to be in the middle of the tank that you don't see.
Yeah, it's going to be on the back.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it might be officially done.
So I feel like if used appropriately, aka upside down from the beginning, you could probably do this entire project with one can.
I think so.
So that's pretty neat. You're looking at, we'll say, $25 and under to do your own crab
You guys-
installment. And you could do this in other things as well, besides just a crab tank.
This thing looks so good from this side.
So the end of it is going to look amazing. I know it is because everything Ed makes turns out pretty damn good. But I think for myself, I would just go find some big pieces of driftwood and big stones off the beach right here, and get all that stuff. To make it,
Yeah, absolutely. If you can source stuff like that locally, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Where I don't have really the sourcing quite that you do, to get a bunch of big stones and driftwood, I'd probably be looking at anywhere from $50 to $150, just depending upon the size and stone and stuff.
I just have to wait for the snow to melt, and then I'll go walk along the beach and find some cool stuff.
That's awesome.
It's still coming out.
I'm on the fence about doing it because I've been talking about downsizing a little bit and getting rid of some of the fish tanks. I mean, I wonder how difficult these crabs are to.
Well, I did ask Haley quite a few questions, and one of them was I asked her what type of filtration am I going to need, and she said really nothing. I said, are they going to be dirty like turtles? And she said no, they'll be like shrimp. So they're the opposite. They're pretty clean and easy. So that's cool. And
so they don't take a lot of maintenance. And Kenny can also answer that if he's still here. I think he is.
Yeah. I did read, make sure they have clean water. But, almost every website says that.
Yeah. New Local Austin says, Rico, are you a pile of rocks guy? I'm more a pile of wood.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing is they're very much the same as guppies in the terms of water perimeters, but I think they're going to want harder water because of their shells.
That works out good for me.
So if you put a lot of wood, though, in there, you're going to bring your pH down.
Sure. Yeah. Unless the wood is not really in the water too much. You can still have the wood in there without it actually being in the water.
Yes, that's true.
Do the pile of rocks.
Wow, this is already setting up. This is crazy. I like this stuff.
Positive review from Chattanooga Ed.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit to learn. It's kind of like a s'more. Making a s'more. Oh, and I just want to say hi to my Uncle Bruce if he's out there. And he
Hi, Uncle
probably
Bruce.
Hey, Uncle Bruce.
Scuba Steve says, tell Ed I need to make my fish tube debut in Orlando.
Oh, well, very cool. I'll make sure that that happens one way or another.
And James, I know you got a lot going on this year with Aquatic Con, which I really, really wanted to go to, but there's just no way.
I understand.
But is there any chance at all that you will be making it to the Keystone Clash?
I don't know that I will. I would say talk to my travel manager. He's the primary guy to get a hold of in terms of where I'll be this year.
He said that he wants to really try and go.
We're going to try to work it out, James. So.
Well, if you guys... Go ahead. Go ahead, James.
I would just say, then I should be there. Most of the time, things are fairly affordable. Certain things are extremely expensive. And so that always plays in a factor. But the biggest thing is always if Ed is going. If Ed's going, I'm probably going to go too. There may be certain, circumstances or instances that doesn't happen. But typically, where one goes, the other follows, right?
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, I know flying is probably even more expensive, and I don't think Ed likes to fly, right, Ed? But if you guys decide to fly, I am already picking somebody up at the airport in Philadelphia, or somebody is. Stephen P. So if you guys need a chauffeur, if that's something that stops you from going, not renting a car there or whatever, we'll offer our services to get you back and forth. I mean, I just imagine you'd rather drive, but
that is very much appreciated, Rico. Thank you for that offer.
Just so you guys can get there, man, because I can't make it to the Triple Crown this year. It's just not going to happen. I really, really wanted to go, but I just can't. And I'm definitely going to be at the Keystone Clash, so I'm really hoping you guys will get there. Ash Lightcloud gave you another $5 super chat, Ed, and he said he's asking me a question. Rico, when you beachcomb, how do you prep your finds for the tank? I live in Maine. I have plenty to pick from. It depends on what it is. If it's wood, I don't do much with it. Rocks, I usually just do a peroxide. And I actually get plants sometimes too, and I'll do peroxide dip with those as well. And that's it. That's all I do. Wood, I don't really do much with it. Sometimes I will let it sit like in the sun for a few days, in the summertime, and let it sort of cook a little bit just on the concrete out front. But that's about it. I don't do much with the wood. So peroxide is my main thing I do. And there's another. Oh, Ed, can you still hear me? I didn't know if he took his headphones off.
I think he took his headphones off.
Okay.
He did the 1 second, 1 minute thing. Okay. He'll be right back.
We'll wait till he.
H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. That's a wonderful thing to have at hand. We're sounding like a Dollar Tree ad tonight. Also available at the Dollar Tree, super cheap. It's one of those things that I definitely keep in the fish room. That's not necessarily something you would consider fish related unless you've been in the hobby and learned a couple of tips and tricks.
It works great on like a lot of different algae. Like I just did some maintenance on the 75 today, and I have a very large Coffeolia. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Anubias there, the big guy. It's a good, it's almost to the top of the tank now. And it did have some algae on it, so I just gave it a quick, when I was doing my maintenance, took it out of the tank and did a quick peroxide dip on it. Every plant I bring out of the bay, I do that too, unless it's a lodia, which I found that a lodia does not handle the peroxide at all. It's the only plant so far that I found. Oh, and Ed, you got another super chat from Eric Wyrock. Oh, hold on. There it is. Just says craft cash.
Well, thank you, sir. Oh, that's what's happening. It's just dripping.
That is a good question. I mean, Amanda Baker says, is it necessary to use food grade H2O2 for in-tank treatment? I have always just used the hydrogen peroxide out of the first aid section at
Yeah.
whatever dollar store, pharmacy, Walmart, wherever you pick it up at.
Yeah, same here. Same here. And it's only been, a year and a half, 2 years that I've been doing it, but I've used it quite a bit over that time, and I've never had any issues with that. Oh,
We lost Ed.
Ed clicked buttons.
Oh, push buttons. I guess I could come back for a second.
Yeah,
And now I
you
lost
could.
my chat by doing that. But
Please.
Kid08 asks if we were doing a saltwater live stream this Saturday. We are not. We just did one this past Saturday, though.
Wow.
And then we've got to get it scheduled with Mike, Fish Tank Barn. We were talking about that a little bit after the stream. It's going to be busy for everybody February, trying to get us all available. So it may not be a Saturday stream. You may get a February saltwater stream that's on a different day of the week, just because Saturday looked like it wasn't going to match for all three of us to get together.
Wow.
It's trying to.
That it does look way different.
Here, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Look at how that looks, how good that looks from the front.
That looks awesome from that direction.
Okay,
Totally
let me
different.
get the push pops and I'll put some more light on it. And I did get the stuff on my fingers, and so it's like ultra sticky.
There was another question here too that I saw. Where was it?
Cat Hair Crafts had asked us, using shells would be putting calcium in the water, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, yeah, it should be. Should be.
So, see, there's one of the cave holes. And then there's another cave hole right there.
Man, I
That's
don't think you're
awesome.
going to have to cut it too much. I think it turned out really good just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only going to cut the sides to fit it in.
That
But I
looks
think this
great.
thing looks pretty freaking awesome, guys.
It does. It really does.
Is it going to stay the same color?
Okay, I want to experiment to see if this foam, if you can spray paint it or not. If I can spray paint it, I will take the Fusion, Krylon Fusion, and I will take a light gray or a dark brown or something and just mist it and let it drop on it, and it'll give it the illusion of a lot more colors and stuff.
Yeah. It looks great.
I'm
Here we go.
super
Son of a Quack asked, when you guys say Dollar Tree decos, are they safe for fish tanks?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say in a blanket yes for that. I think you need to, verify each and every one of them. I think that's a case by case. But if you're talking about shells and the gravel and stuff like that, that should be. Also tell Ed I love the scape. Perfectly resembles the red and black volcanic terrain of Mustafar. Even got the high ground down.
Thank you. Maybe we could put some legs on the ground.
Yeah, and I've even used from time to time. The Dollar Tree has in the little dollar bags of deco stuff, some different wood chips and things. I've even used some of those in tanks before without issue. So just check and see, because the products change a lot depending upon where they're sourcing from. But oftentimes you can find a lot of aquatic safe items or things that can be, you can leach the stuff out of it and make it aquatic safe. You can wash it off and make it aquatic safe.
Yeah. And even today, Alishon, I don't know if Alishon's in here. I haven't seen him, but Alishon, very knowledgeable guy. Been keeping fish a long time, and super great guy. I say that because he brought me pie to the Keystone Clash last year, so he's one of my best friends now. But
Absolutely.
I got this bag of botanicals, and he mentioned that it's always a good idea to boil them because you're not sure exactly where the stuff came from. So
Yeah, I thought they were talking about the plastics that are made for food, but yeah, I don't know about the shells and stuff.
But he said that it was a good idea to boil this type of stuff just to make sure that it doesn't have anything. I mean, some of the stuff you're pretty like alder cones, but again, you don't know that. I don't know where this was collected from. I don't
Right.
know that they didn't spray this with something to, you know what I mean? You just don't know. So
Absolutely.
it's probably a good idea to boil those types of things.
No, that makes sense. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I honestly have not with a lot of mine, and haven't had problems, but you definitely could. Definitely could.
I've never used any botanicals at all, and I have very, very hard water. But I usually pick fish that can deal with the hard water, so I don't worry too much about that. Um, and Scuba Steve says, anybody flying in for the Triple Crown, I can chauffeur you from the airport. Very nice. But I was wanting to meet you at the Triple. Yeah, it's not going to happen this year, or probably any year. It's just too far for me to travel. I don't travel well these days. I really wanted to go though. There was so many people there, Kenny and Danny and well, just so many people. So I'm really gonna miss out on the Triple Crown. And I know when it comes around, I'm just gonna be so depressed watching you guys all have so much fun there. So you guys
I'm
better make
sorry,
sure you
buddy.
do a lot of live streams for us.
I'm going to be right back. I need to get a little bit of lighter fluid because I can't handle. I'm getting everything sticky. Like my mouse is now sticky.
Oh no.
I just got to get it off me.
Understood.
So,
Paul Sotera said he'll have a car in
Understandable.
Louisville. There's another person. And Rack. Anyone working on unnatural aquarium theme tanks, Legos, Minecraft, ukuleles? Ukuleles. Rack.
Yeah. The ukuleles. I wonder who that could be. No, I think that's awesome, but I would love to do some fun stuff like that. But I'm still in the process of downsizing. Once I get things finally settled, that will help me to do some individual projects. I've decided I would rather have like 10 or 12 display tanks versus like 60 breeding tanks and just having fish tanks, if you will. So, but I'm hoping to do a couple of really cool things.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you. I've just I felt like I haven't been doing very good lately of keeping up my maintenance, because of health issues. So I'm thinking that it's when I do go to the Keystone Clash, I'm bringing 3 or 4 buckets of guppies, and I'm going to just give away all my guppies. I'm getting rid of all of them except my tub ones. I have some in a tub that's right below me on the ground back here, right below me, right behind me. They go in and out for the summer. I'm
Gotcha.
keeping that strain, but all the rest of them going away. Yeah, Peru's a no-go.
I'll make it there one day. One day.
I would love to go to Peru, Ecuador, that whole area. Just would love to go. I could fly, Sandy, but it's not even just the flying; it's all the rest of it. Just the being away from home for so long and worrying about flare-ups and all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to I don't want to jump into it, Sandy.
It kind of kills me. I used to have a coworker that would often ask me if I would like to go with them back home to Nicaragua and various other parts. And at the time, I couldn't because I was a store manager, so it wasn't a possibility. And now I don't have that option, if you will. I'm like, I wish I could have gone and done it, and just knowing what I know now, just taking those opportunities when I had them.
Same here, same exact thing. My old roommate, one of them was from Puerto Rico, and the other one was from his family. He was from Arizona, but his family was from Ecuador, and he would go back every year to Ecuador. And just when he would come home, he always brought a lot of leather stuff. I guess there was a lot of cattle in Ecuador at the time, and he would bring home all kinds of leather stuff. Like one time he came home and he had like a leather fedora and like a leather jacket. It was just it was a little bit too much, a little overboard. But he was just talking about how much fun he had while he was there, and just I don't know. And he always offered, and I never went. Um,
I have relatives from uh, El Salvador.
yeah, I've been to
Now,
Mexico. I've been to Rocky Point mostly. Went to Rocky Point quite often.
Oh, I'd like to go back to Chichen Itza down in Yucatan.
Yeah.
So awesome. That's where they filmed Return of the Jedi. Some of it.
now that we've got you back at, I know you mentioned pulling up the aquatic arts page to look at some awesome crabs. You ready to do that?
Yes, please. I want to show you guys the two for sure's, and I think the third that I'll be getting.
So the lighter fluid did the job on your hands and stuff.
Okay, I prefer lighter fluid, but I forgot I needed. Dad spilled something, and I took the lighter fluid up to him, and they're in bed, and I don't want to bother him for my lighter fluid, so I'm using my lamp oil, and it's not nearly as good as the lighter fluid, but it's making it so I'm not sticky. So now I'm gonna do my mouse, and not light a match anytime soon.
Right. Yeah.
They've got a lot of different crabs on here, a lot of beautiful crabs.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's kind of two different types, I think, but I want the vampires, and the two that I'm looking at are, and she said both the ones that I wanted are the ones that she gets regularly. The Halloween crab.
Halloween vampire crab.
Yep.
And they're how much? 13 a piece?
Ooh, I almost just ended the broadcast by it just
Don't do
came up.
that.
Look
If,
at how
if
neat
you want me
that
to
is.
leave, just say so.
Isn't that a neat looking crab?
That is.
And
I'd
what do
probably
they
name it a
what do they
Thanos.
run again?
About $15 a piece.
Really? And how big do they get?
2 inches from finger or from leg to leg.
Okay.
They live about 2 years. They don't pinch hard, so you can pick them up and not have any problems. They're pretty neat, I gotta say.
Sorry, I was reading through the description there. You said there was another kind as well that you were looking at.
I'm also gonna get whichever one is shipped to her first, I'm gonna get. But I also really like the rainbow vampire.
Now, this is a good question from Killer Kitty. Can you keep them solo? I mean, I know that you can have them in groups, but can you keep them solo? Could you just keep one of them?
I would imagine, but it probably wouldn't be as much fun.
Would they not like that? I mean, are they used to being in groups?
See, I'm not the guy to ask. We have to get Haley.
Well, that's a question that we'll add.
Okay. The rainbow crab is just so bright red. I love him.
It's
He
fit.
is.
Crabs are so fun. He gave you a $5 super chat.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that little fella.
Oh yeah,
So-
look at that.
I really like him. And then there's a purple one that's actually in stock with white claws.
And they all run about the same. I can't really see the prices there. They
Yeah,
all
so
run about the
basically,
same?
yeah, most of them are anywhere from $14.99 to $18.99. Some of it's going to depend on like if they have groups available. So I'm sure like this one says from $14.99 to $149.39. I'm sure the
Yeah.
$149.39 is a group of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
10.
10 crabs, $149.39.
Well, do they have like groups of 4 or 6, or what's the group?
Depending, yeah, they should have it depending upon which one. So like right now they've just got one female crab available for that. But Aquatic Arts typically has multiple options on the different items. Like this one's got one female.
I have a $75 gift card for them that I got way back during that tank thing we did.
I love this guy right here. Now these guys start at $12.99 for the purple vampires.
I think there's a purple one with a really bright yellow eye, which is kind of neat. But yeah, guys, I am super stoked about how this is going to be. This is going to give them a lot of places to hide and walk and everything. It's going to be neat.
Kenny said they have the rainbow and the Halloween.
Oh, that's the two I want.
Nice.
And I know Kenny said they've been breeding like crazy.
That's awesome. Well, what in Rob's on, what I'm hoping to do is be Rob's hookup and take the babies to Rob and maybe trade him for a bottle of the crab food.
Or put them in a box and send them to your buddy that lives in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely do that too. But I can't be shipping all over to everybody, and I apologize. It's just I've done that for plants, and my God, I've spent $200 at the fish store, or not at the fish store, at the post office, sending duckweed, and it's like, or not duckweed,
it's expensive.
Water lettuce.
Yeah,
you send me a bunch of it, I know. And I still, your package is still sitting by your box, your package, whatever we're going to call it, because it doesn't matter what we call it, the chat's going to run with it. But it's still sitting by the front door. I was supposed to go to the post office yesterday to pick up the key for the P.O. box. I didn't do it. And then today we had a foot of snow in a couple hours, and I didn't feel like driving. So maybe tomorrow?
This thing is already getting hard. It's crazy.
So the link that I put in the chat, a couple of people had asked about the white crabs. That's the link specifically for those. That was the Thai micro crab.
What is the people's favorite? Maybe, you know what I should do? Oh, you can't really, for those polls, you can't really put a picture and have them vote on it, can you?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Like if I would put 4 or 5 different crabs on there and say, what do you vote for? A, B, C, or D, or E. And they wouldn't actually get to see that, would they? It's just words, right?
Yeah,
right.
Just words. They wouldn't be able to see the pictures, yeah.
You guys, I'm really stoked on how cool this came out.
I think it looks awesome.
You guys just aren't seeing a very cool angle. Let's see if I can spin it.
Be careful.
I will. I've got it on a big piece of hard plastic in a trash bag, plexiglass.
Yeah, see, it's amazing how much different it looks.
That is a good point, Delilah. Delilah's Critter says, years ago, I was dead set on Thai micro crabs. The only thing that kept me away was that someone once said, if you don't have 20 or more, you'll forget you even have them because they're so small.
Gotcha. And those ones, the micro crabs are fully aquatic, right?
Well, when they get to 2 inches, you'll be able to see them.
Well, no, they're talking about the Thai micro crabs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they only get to a 1/2 inch in diameter, including their leg span, making them great for smaller tanks.
And are those fully aquatic?
I'm pretending I know how to read here.
I feel like Irene from Girl Talks Fish had some, and they were just in a regular tank with her other fish.
But
not seeing the specifics.
I think today's craft came out pretty good.
Geek Boy said they're fully aquatic.
There we go. Thank you. Oh, and they're at the very bottom of what we like about this crab. One of the few fully aquatic crabs available. But yeah, there's even a note specifically on the Aquatic Arts website that says these crabs are extremely, all caps, small, hence the micro adjective in their name. So we recommend them for experienced nano aquarists and shrimp hobbyists only.
Gotcha.
Well, this is just cool, guys. I don't know.
It is. That's really cool.
I know I shouldn't say that about my own project, but
yeah, you should. If it's cool, it's cool. And it came out amazing. I knew it would.
We're going to see how it does with spray paint. And what I'll do is I will spray the back probably black, just so nobody sees the blue and the red.
Oh, yeah, and the reflection of the tank itself.
But I don't think it's going to be worth putting foam on the back.
No. Yeah, I would just
it's going to be up high on top of it. So.
Oh, Geek Boy said the first video I put on my page is of the micro crab I had.
Oh, wow.
Very spider-like movement.
Well, that's cool. We saw the babies at Haley's when James and I went to Haley's house.
Yep.
And they looked like 100 little ticks. It was pretty gross. She was like so excited to have baby crabs, and I'm like, yeah. Congratulations there. I hope they don't jump.
We're looking in the tank like, is there something in here?
Well, once I saw all the ticks starting to move, it was like, oh, gross. But yeah, and I am going to do like one plant in here. I want to try to get a plant, though, that doesn't mind having its roots in the water. But it also can't grow like crazy. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of plant like research. But sheesh.
Can you put micro crabs with shrimp? That's a good question because I'm looking at the shrimp tank right now, and it's a little 5-gallon. I was thinking, man, it would be cool to have some of those in there.
I mean, the micro crabs aren't going to be able to kill an adult shrimp, and a shrimp's not going to eat a crab. Maybe they might try to hunt the shrimplets. I don't know, but they might hunt their own babies too.
Geek Boy says you can. Son of a Quack says, no offense, but this is one of the best crafteds I've seen. Cool project with foam, and even better, no fish baby freak that looks like it was the spawn of that baby spider robot from Toy Story.
Well, I know I'm going to have to do some work at cutting it off the cardboard before it goes in.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave it stuck to the cardboard until I figure out all my painting abilities on it. But look, I mean, this isn't sticky at all anymore. This is awesome. It's already setting up. That's crazy. It was so sticky, though. So sticky.
We've still got it. There you go. I was say a couple people asking, can you show the can of foam again?
Oh, what are the odds?
And is there's still some left in it?
No. I squeezed it all out.
So one can, that's not too bad.
No, well, I probably would have done better if I didn't put half the can out before I remembered you're supposed to. Well, I didn't remember. I totally forgot. It's supposed to be upside down. And then someone, whoever it is, thank you so much to remind me to do that. Thanks, Lisa. I don't know if Lisa got to see I should have done a before and after shot.
Deb Hall says Rachel Leary had the micro crabs and Neo shrimp together. And hi, Lisa.
Yeah, and when I was doing it, man, it just made me want to eat a chocolate cake.
It's going to be awesome when you're all done with it. You know, when you got it in the tank and you've got the colors and stuff on it that you're talking about, and watching the crabs crawl all over it.
I think I could do a aquascape with this someday.
How many crabs are you thinking about for that 20-gallon then?
I was just going to buy 4. I was planning on just buying 4 and let the magic happen.
There you go. Yeah.
I was going to ask Haley to send me 2 girls, 2 boys.
There you go. Yeah, now I want micro crabs, if Zine said. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm feeling it too.
These are vampires, but yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The vampires.
But I thought the black foam. See, I do have the brown foam also. You can get that at any Lowe's for about probably $5 a can.
So that's the stuff we usually use.
Mm-hmm. And someday I ought to try it just to use it. I mean, I've used it for like working on houses and stuff, for real projects like filling holes.
Yeah.
Like when I was building my house in Kansas City, I wanted to make sure there was no holes for mice to come in through the foundation. So I went, before they put the flooring down, I filled the gaps because there's like holes all over the place, gaps and stuff where mice can go right up through your foundation, and nobody knows about it. And so I was just clogging them all with that stuff.
Rob would like to see the empty can again.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to see the name of it, Rob? Is that what you're looking for?
Savio.
Excellence. Excellent.
The more you buy on Amazon, the cheaper it gets. I should have priced them. I bought them a couple of years ago because I just knew someday I would do projects with them.
And this is going in a 20 high, 20
yep.
long.
A 20 tall.
20 tall.
Yeah, 20 tall. And that was from Aquatic Aesthetics, the fish tank. So that's why this episode is brought to you by Aquatic Aesthetics.
There you go.
I won it in a raffle. It was pretty funny how I won it. James and I were doing a talk at the club, and they asked us to randomly pull names out of the can. And the first name James pulls out was my ticket. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, I remember.
Me.
I remember.
And then the next one, I think I got 5 in a row.
Didn't you tell them to let somebody else have it or something?
Yeah.
That's the one you guys live streamed that one, right?
Yeah. I just took the first prize and then stopped. But, I mean, I did buy $40 worth of tickets, which was probably 20 or 40 entries, and I put like 5 in each can. So, for some reason, they were pulling mine.
Visine said, who's going to do the blind fish keeper challenge? And Lauren asked what it was. So the blind fish keeper challenge is from blind fish keeper Brandon. And it's you somehow obstruct your vision and aquascape a tank.
That's awesome.
And see how it turns out.
I have probably about 150 pounds of rock behind me that I'd love to pick up to show, how I could scape and then compare it to this. But right now I'm not supposed to lift anything heavy, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Don't.
I want to so bad. I want to make something, and it won't be nearly as cool as this.
Here comes the buzzkill as usual. We're an hour and 6 minutes in, a minute away from Rico, Stan, and the man starting live.
Awesome.
This has been an awesome project that it turned out absolutely amazing. I really, I have faith in everything you do as a craft, but it really surprised me getting to see the front after we stared at the back of it for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful idea. Very wallet friendly. So thank you for bringing that to us tonight.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Back's not so pretty. The front looks amazing.
It does. Amazing is exactly the word for it.
Well, and guys, thank you for all the super chats. I really, really appreciate it. It helps me be able to buy cans of foam and little boxes and all this stuff. I really appreciate it a lot. And it's just really nice to have people do that. But also thank you to everybody that just comes and hangs out, because that's what makes it so much fun, is getting all your guys' comments and stuff. And I'll probably watch this show like tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon and laugh at what you guys say, because I love reading what you guys all say. And Rico, James, you guys, you make it possible, because if I was doing crafts, I couldn't see what's going on, and it would just be really boring probably. So
we appreciate you having us on.
Oh, yeah.
Mods, you're amazing. You do such a super job. I can't thank you guys enough.
You just you got another $5 super chat from Killer Kitty, and it's the cat.
Oh, it's my favorite one.
I know it's not a cat, but we say it's a cat.
I almost wiped out.
Oh, and there's Lisa. Lisa says just cause she gave you a $10 super chat.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And I don't know. I don't want to talk about Aquashella with Lisa right now, because I don't know what she wants said or not. So, love you, kiddo. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much. Let's all head over and check out Rico Stan. Thank you again. Aquatic Aesthetics.
Absolutely. Thank you. Link is in the chat to head over. Rico, Stan, and the man live now. Thanks for having me, Ed, Rico,